Hi guys, welcome to the Roshambro's podcast. I'm your host, Kien Ibanez.
Max Schooley.
And I'm Jailed again.
Alrighty, well, let's just get into... Guys, what have you been up to lately?
Whole lot of not much.
Not much? Well,
No.
you got that new...
I got Tom Clancy's Wildlands like 2 days ago.
How's that been?
It's been pretty good. I've played like 4 hours and I'm like 2% into the game.
So what is the premises of this video game?
Basically, this big drug cartel has taken over Bolivia, bought out the entire country. The police, the government, even the citizens are basically bought out to just let them do whatever the fuck they want to do and grow a bunch of cocaine.
Run by El Sueño.
Yeah.
El Sueño.
Yes.
Yeah, El Sueño is the drug lord of this cartel. So, this game reminds me of, like, Far Cry. Like, there's a lot of exploring, a lot of little things to pick up here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of a main storyline, it's more Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah, that's what it kind of felt like. Like, there was, like, multiple generals you have to take down. And
Yeah,
shit
there's...
like that.
There's underlings and there's generals, and then once you take out all the underlings, you can fight the generals. Once you fight the generals, then you can fight the big boss. Is kind of how it is.
And that map is huge. For another hour or so I've
map
played.
is fucking massive. With an airplane, okay, so the map is deviated up into like 15 different sections, kind of stuck together. With an airplane, it takes about 15 minutes. No, probably about 10 minutes to fly across one section. The place is fucking huge.
It is.
That's really awesome, though. I mean, like they
it's-
actually put an effort into making it worth playing.
Oh yeah.
And the AI combat's pretty decent, actually.
Yeah, the AI aren't stupid, and it's not an empty area either. It feels full. Like, most of the buildings are not things you can go in, but it's still populated with stuff.
Like, what I liked was, like, the AIs flinch when you shoot at them. It's like, oh, cool. Like, another video game.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't give a shit. These guys flinch.
Yeah, like, if you miss the shot, they react, and they, like, flinch to the side, they drop down, they go running, like... They react, and it's enjoyable to... It's almost enjoyable to shoot into a crowd of them and watch, like, half of them flinch, the other half drop, and one general guy looks around and goes, fuck.
And, like, my problem so far, which is not running it so far, because I only played like an hour or so, is that the vehicles are ridiculous when we're just jumping down this fucking cliff and
Yeah, you can...
it survives.
You can take a vehicle down, like, 90-degree slope. This vehicle will just chug down it, and you're like, woohoo! I'm going fast!
Yeah.
Also, don't hit civilians. It will end your game.
For
Or shoot
real?
them accidentally.
Yeah.
Like, it's a game over. Like an
Yeah,
instant game over.
it's a game over if
Wow,
you kill too many
That's
civilians.
super awesome, though. That makes a lot of sense. Like,
Yeah.
America.
But at the same time, you can kill all of their livestock, and nobody notices.
Yep.
Nobody says a thing.
I'm really glad
slaughtered-
I'm really glad you bought this game on Cinco de Mayo.
You bought it on Secret of
You
Drink.
bought it on Cinco de Mayo.
Fuck, I did.
Like, you bought it on Cinco de Mayo, and I was just like,
fuck.
yeah.
I didn't even realize that when I went and bought it.
No, I did realize. I just realized that when I was thinking, you're like, I bought it 2 days ago. I'm like, holy shit, you bought it on Cinco de Mayo.
Fuck. Alright, I guess I did.
Yeah. So
Oopsie.
speaking of that, so Mountain Dew decided to create this thing called Dew SA that had fucking Code Red, fucking blueberry, and then citrus. So sure enough,
and Voltage, I think those are the other two.
fucking.
I don't know, I don't
Uh,
drink Mountain Dew
it,
that much,
it did
but-
3 of them, like the red, white, and blue flavors they used to have. Well, fucking...
Smirnoff thought it was a good idea to be like Taste of America, and so as a joke, I was like, Happy Cinco de Drinko, drinking red, white, and blue, and it tastes like asshole.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
It wasn't like not ass. It was just. It was just. I didn't have the Dew SA, because I knew it would be like too much sugar.
Yeah.
And then when I drank this, I was basically drinking sugar alcohol, and it was very bothersome. I was just like, really, really sweet.
I've had one Dew SA and it tastes like those fucking rocket pops. That's what it tastes like.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculously
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, like, if you melted a rocket pop and mixed it up and then poured sugar in it, that's basically
And carbonated
what we
water.
drank.
Delicious.
Yeah. The flavors didn't mesh well.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't like horrendous, but they did not mesh well together.
They were really gross. Like I just, that and I have been balls deep in different people. Different people's lores, and trying to hide from someone.
Yes.
But that is
Lores.
No. I will explain. I have two things to explain. So I have literally been watching. I've been watching a shit ton of Dragon Ball Super, and I've also been, because the channel besides this, and hoping to integrate some Star Wars shit for Jay. Oh my god. You can talk about it. I will just listen. We were watching the X-Wing prelims, and Jesus.
No, it's X-Wing World Champion. It's a very... Fuck you.
It's okay. Explain that before I get into my story.
So, Fantasy Flight Games, that's the company that makes the X-Wing Miniatures game. It's like a battle chess with little Star Wars ships, and there's dice and there's cards and maneuver templates. Anyway,
It's Dungeons and Dragons with spaceships.
No, it's not.
No,
it's more.
no, it's battle chess. It's basically battle chess.
It's a turn-based strategy game.
Yeah.
All right.
And so
It's
anyway,
like Risk.
It looks like D&D to me.
No, it's not. But anyway,
You get characters.
It's the World Championship is in Roseboom or whatever it's called.
It's in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, and
Yay.
final two people were from Singapore and Belgium. So
I'm going to imply that they actually had to pay for their own fucking ticket for this.
it's $70.
No, like the fucking plane trip
Oh yeah.
to bumfuck Midwest.
It's all right. We can say that we're from here.
Yeah, we are.
It's suburb of like Minneapolis.
Yeah, we are
or
1
St.
hour.
Paul.
We are 1 hour away from the Minnesota border. We live in Iowa, and it's
Yeah.
it's fun.
Go Midwest. It was
Yeah.
snowing last week, and now it's 80 degrees.
Hooray! But no. So no. What I mean is just like, I as much as I dick on X-Wing, and I do a lot. I will admit that I am an asshole about X-Wing.
Yes.
Yes, I am. I have to give it to people. I have to give people's fucking resolve for the game. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, if I lived in Singapore and my life excelled in fucking rolling a dice and hitting imaginary spaceships, and that, like, got me money, more power to you. It's just like in Korea, where they're like StarCraft and
damn.
fucking League of Legends. They're like,
Which
yeah,
is
we
cancer.
Fucking Koreans.
we live in houses.
you.
We live in houses together. We live in
Jay.
houses together.
You're not good at League of Legends.
I know.
Yet you're Korean.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
disappointment.
We're like,
Oh,
we
shit.
You can't do math either.
we live in house. We live in. What's the circumference of a circle again?
Something to do with pi. The
pi.
answer's pi.
Pi. But no,
Fuck.
any person like who is like gets paid to do like I competitive video games. It's becoming a sport. A kid I know graduated college and he's starting a mini agency.
I'm alright with that.
Yes and no. Like, I think it's just a weird. Like, it's just like the whole YouTube streaming shit. Like, it's an enigma to me. But like, more power to you. Like, you're living your passion. Good on you. Like that takes balls to be like, first date. I'm a competitive Magic the Gathering card player. Not second date.
Tinder profile: League of Legends World Champion. Also, I like coffee.
Swipe left. You
No.
gotta put League of Legends World Champions loves cats. Right.
Cats, not coffee. That's how you win Tinder.
Yeah. If you put cats and coffee, you win. Like, girls for some reason have a weird fetish for cats and coffee.
Yeah.
And then you combine them like, there's a kitty on the coffee mug.
Can you make cat? Never mind. We're
If
not going there.
Starbucks made a cat coffee.
No, if you had coffee made out of cat shit.
No, but like they made they had the unicorn frappuccino. They made the kitty frap. Bitches, single bitches everywhere.
What if they made coffee for cats? Did I just win?
You won. Like
Starbucks, are you listening to me? I got great ideas.
Bring your cat to Starbucks and you get a free coffee.
This sounds like a very bad.
If you have allergies, fuck you.
We serve free Benadryl.
Have Benadryl on the side. But no, like besides that, like I said, like I've been watching a lot of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, which Max and I had while we were grilling and Cinco de Mayo, we had a nice long conversation about female Super Saiyans that we're going to have we're going to make a discussion video tomorrow about it because I am so excited. Like okay. So Dragon Ball is about 32 years old, and not once, like, you see female Saiyans, where they existed, obviously, because they don't reproduce asexually like Namekians.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You see, like, 4.
If you watch the history of Bardock, there's a ton.
Okay, yeah.
There's a ton. So, like, it's just nice to, like, bring female Super Saiyans into the mix, because, like, you've only had Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, and fucking Goku for so long.
Right.
And, like, Pan obviously shows potential. And, again, we're going to bring it up later. But they just brought up something. The thing that I wanted to bring up that, like, I was like, I even fell for the trap, too. I fell for Khalifa was going to be the new Broly.
Yeah.
So,
Khalifa?
No, fuck off, Jay.
God damn it, Jay.
Khalifa, okay, so Broly, back in the day, was part of a movie called Broly, the Legendary Super Saiyan, and he was I didn't like him very much. I thought he was, like, dumb. Like, the way they beat him, if you watch the abridged version, is basically the same, but it's, like, an extra 10 minutes longer. They give Goku all their power so he can make Super Saiyan fists and punch Broly into the sun.
Yep.
That's basically it. But, like, Broly as a concept of, like, someone who was stronger than a Super Saiyan was really interesting to me. And so, when they first showed the intro to the Universal Survival Arc, you see this timid girl, and you're just like, oh, fuck. I wonder what she's going to be like. And all of a sudden, she becomes the Broly-esque looking person. I'm like, oh my gosh!
Yeah, Kien actually made noises like that.
Yeah, the hype was real. Like, not that Broly technically, quote-unquote, existed, but there was a female Super Saiyan finally. And now, because, like, all the internet believed this, like, everyone in the anime community believed that they redesigned the change for Khalifa instead of looking like that timid girl to look like a street punk. But then you find out in episode 89 that there's 2 Saiyans in the Universal Survival Arc, and Khalifa is, might be able to go Legendary Super Saiyan from what the translation says, and Kale is the one who is the Legendary Super Saiyan you see. So, everyone thought Khalifa was going to be Broly because Khalifa, Broly, broccoli, cauliflower, every Saiyan is named after a vegetable.
Yeah.
Like, my nerdiness just skyrocketed. I was just like, oh, yeah!
Kien's nerd boner is like 3 feet high
just
right now.
like high. Like, not even because, like, they're chick Saiyans, but just in general of, like, brings lore. Like, I like when lore can expand and, like, you can start a conversation with it. Like, the only time we had female Super Saiyans was in, like, video games where you could be, like, a girl and they can go Super Saiyan. Video games aren't canon, but they're, you know, it's the precursor. And also I was trying to hide from, I don't hate myself and I don't think I'm ugly. I think I'm awesome as shit. But I don't find why anyone finds me cute and or attractive and then they don't leave me alone. That's, like, weird to me. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I've been doing. I've also been hiding.
Yeah, she just walked in the front door.
Yeah, she walked in the front door. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yep. Alright.
Jay, what have you been up to?
Basically played some X-Wings and video games. And then working a lot.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's been my life.
All that work.
Reading a fucking... I finally finished the last book of the Magicians today, so...
Nice.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
No, don't say it. I want to actually watch the series.
Jay,
I'm just going to say, like, compared to the series, like, the books are different, but like I like how the series is going, so I have no complaints really so far. But
Okay.
Well, that's
the
good.
book and the book series, it's only a trilogy. It ended really nicely. Maybe he might do more, but he probably won't. But it'd be cool if he did.
Or the series keeps going afterwards. If the series gets big enough.
But at least
do you think it will though?
The series?
No. The TV series, probably not. I mean, I
don't
love
know.
sci-fi to death, but like a lot of their stuff really doesn't go very far.
Well, Warehouse
unless it's
13
Sharknado.
No, Warehouse 13 went pretty far, and then so did Stargate SG-1. Then there was Atlantis.
Eureka.
Eureka was good. Yeah, it went
Yeah.
pretty far.
Like some things go really far, then other things that I felt would do good just kind of fizzle out.
Well, like for example, Expanse is doing really well. It's had 2 solid, really good seasons, and then there's a 3rd season confirmed for 2018. So
All right.
yeah, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Hopefully.
Yep.
Yeah. Now it's time to go to the news, and first on trailer trash.
Huh.
It's gonna be awesome. So again, I'm gonna go on an anime tangent for like 5 minutes real quick. We saw I made the guys watch JoJo's Diamonds Are Unbreakable live
God.
action
There
trailer.
needs to be a subtitles for that.
I'm
Yeah, it's
sorry.
all in Japanese.
It's all
I
in
have no idea
Japanese,
what's going on.
But like my giddiness of it was just like
We've watched it like 5 times. now.
yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, the main premise of Diamonds of Unbreakable, and it looks like it's following the story. Not like obviously it's not follow to a T because it was a 24 episode. It was a 24 episode arc because that's the only. It's there, but so it follows Josuke and Jotaro. They're like second cousins because Josuke is Jonathan Joestar's son and Jotaro is Jonathan Joestar's nephew. So yeah, they're second cousins, right?
Yeah.
They're second cousins. So they are trying to find a murderer who's using stand power. Stand is is basically the key energy of they're basically giant monoliths that are spirit energy that the person controls.
Okay.
So Josuke and his friends go and try to find him. That's that's what the trailer was premisizing.
All right.
And so it's basically like crime drama
Huh.
mixed with anime. You don't see any of the stands, but you get the feeling that they're there.
Yeah.
If you
I'll
watch
watch
like
it.
some of the fight
Well,
scenes.
I want to point something out. Like, all I know is that there's oral, and that was not in the trailer. Okay? I
Jay
was
is very
disappointed.
upset. He wants hashtag more Oro. Come on, internet. We need this.
Please.
More Oro
That's
in your
all I know
next
about
trailer for
JoJo's
JoJo's
Bizarre
Bizarre Adventures. The only thing, if you want Jay to sit in the theater for this live action JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
Please.
more Oro. That is what we're getting out of this trailer. More Oro.
Then we'll have my sealed proof.
Oh my God.
Look, why I wanted to bring this up is that Japan is really doing an awesome trend of turning their animes into live action films.
Miss Kobayashi.
Come on, Cowboy Bebop.
No.
I don't want Cowboy. See, Cowboy
No,
Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop felt too
is
good as
good,
an anime
yeah.
like that.
Like,
If they tried to live action it, I'd probably just be disappointed.
to be fair, JoJo's
Okay.
Bizarre Adventure has lasted longer than Dragon Ball because it was still ongoing. Where Dragon Ball Z was canceled in like 97,
Yeah.
and then we didn't get the shit till 2000. Like, that's the thing. Like, JoJo Bizarre Adventure is one of the longest lasting like shonen animes, mangas to exist.
Yeah.
Like, it is, well, because it follows the standard storyline. Like, you'll get different characters, but it's a standard story.
Yeah.
Where compared to look at Bleach, where Bleach does a repetitive storyline, someone gets kidnapped, they go to find them. After the first arc, the Substitute Soul Reaper arc was the only arc that they really didn't do that in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then
Yeah.
what about
One Piece!
Yeah.
That's an expanded universe, because they reference so much shit that you don't see for 5 years.
Yeah.
It creates that is legitimately an expanded universe.
Okay.
Because you didn't see Skypiea for
a
a
long,
long time. It was brought up
It was brought up
fairly early,
fairly early, and
but you
then-
don't see it for a super long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And where Naruto, there was a good format that had it. Joestar, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, standard story, Naruto, linear story, where stories would break off into different people. One Piece was an expanded story where it would let hint of certain things and then expand through it as the series progressed. And then Bleach was repetitive story, where it was they did the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much.
But back to where I was talking about, like in Japan, there are 3 new live action movies for anime.
Yeah.
It's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Tokyo Ghoul, and Gintama. Tokyo Ghoul is a hit or miss for me. Like, parts of it are really, really good, and then parts of it are just really, really lackluster.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks interesting, though. Like,
Yeah.
what we saw of it looked really interesting. And the Gintama, no one really knows Gintama. Like, the American audience doesn't really have an idea of what Gintama is, because Gintama is so based on Japanese pop culture. You couldn't really use it. You couldn't really understand the references unless you turned, like, President Ito Ishido into, like, named him Donald Trump, but he would look nothing like him.
Yeah,
you know what I
it'd be
mean?
Really hard to follow, unless you, like, follow that culture very, very efficiently or live there is really hard to follow.
It's super interesting. It's a cool series if you get past all the jokes and gags, because, like, they steal, like, everything from every other shonen anime. Like, there was, like, a filler where it was all Dragon Ball Z parody. It was really awesome. But, like, I really am excited for this, because it really opens up the, like, you know...
Maybe the resurgence of some great animes we used to see in a different light.
Yeah, but like Bleach is getting a live action Japanese anime movie. And
I'm disappointed.
It's very interesting. Like, the actor looks cool. Oh, and Full Metal Alchemist, that's the fucking 4th one I forgot.
Oh.
That one looks really interesting.
That
like,
one I could see being really well.
It was really interesting. I'll show you the trailer. It looks super good. It was filmed in Venice. And that's the one where, like, okay, I know we've gone through conversation about whitewashing in television, okay?
Yep.
And we'll talk about the Dark Tower after this, because this also goes into, like, quote-unquote whitewashing or changing people's ethnicities.
Nah.
Whereas I think it would be socially acceptable to use American actors for a Full Metal Alchemist movie.
Yeah.
I do this because they look European. Like,
I'm not European or
their names
American.
are Edward. They're like, even in the English dub, even in the Japanese dub, it's Edward Elric, and they use the term Führer Bradley, which is a German term.
Yeah, it's very European based, made in Japan.
Yeah.
European based though.
Yeah. European based in their idea of what, like, this country is. So that's where I was like, if they ever make a live action Full Metal Alchemist movie, that would be an understandable one. Whereas Attack on Titan to me is also the same thing. The only one person that seems really fucking Japanese is Mikasa.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
She's the chick.
Oh, okay.
She's Aaron's friend.
Yeah, I really didn't get into Attack on Titan.
I know, but
different topic, but
time. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, there's certain anime things that could totally work. Dragon Ball Evolution obviously didn't work because it's really based in, like, those guys are supposed to be Asian.
Yeah.
There are certain animes that could work with American actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think Bleach will work. I don't have an opinion yet on the Death Note trailer. I just don't like how it
stupid,
looks.
in my opinion.
I don't know. I think it's going to be weird.
It's going to be weird.
I might still watch it, but I think it's going to be weird either way.
We'll probably have to do a review on it.
We'll end up doing a review, so we'll probably watch it.
So, getting back into this, we're going to talk about the Dark Tower series. And
yes.
Holy shit.
It looks intense.
My nerd boner is to the ceiling right now.
God.
It looks really cool.
It looks so awesome. I really, like, one thing I hope, though, I hope they can, like, because they reference it in the Dark Tower series itself.
This is charge.
Yeah.
It has a decent amount of charge on it, I think.
But, yeah. I read that series a long time ago, like, starting in my middle school age, and I've read it twice, or Well, I've read it through twice now, and I've read most of the books at least 3 times. Like, I love the series to death.
It's a super interesting
great.
series.
I'm also a really big Stephen King fan.
I've read all but 2 of the books, and I need to just finish the series really quickly, which I can.
Yeah.
But what I've read, it's really good. So.
You can find those books at your local library.
I know. It's Sunday. I thought it was Saturday. I was like, but nope.
Nope.
No,
Tomorrow.
But
Yeah.
no, like I really think it is just hella. I think it is just
It
hella
looks-
interesting.
It does.
Hella good. Like,
It
I am
looks-
super excited
Like,
for this.
I don't know if to integrate like Eddie and Susanna. Is that
Yeah,
her name?
Susan.
She has 2 different names.
She's
a
got
split personality.
Susan and
Pollyanna. No, not Pollyanna. It was
starts with a P.
Is this the beginning of the book, or is this just a new take on it?
Uh,
Can someone explain
well,
that to me?
I saw part like when they're fighting that village. That reminds me of when they were defending that village from the like wolf-looking
Yeah,
things.
the-
That's what I think that part is, which is like way.
That's like book
fun.
5.
Yeah.
The way I see it is they might, I hope they don't, but they might be trying to put all 7 books into one, because it doesn't look like it's following it. Because when the gunslinger finds the kid, he already has met Susan and Eddie.
Yeah, but the first but first time in
The first time
book, he kills Jake.
Yeah, the first time he meets the kid, he kills Jake, yes. But the next time when Jake starts following him, Susan and Eddie have already been met and established as characters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in this, it doesn't look like it. So I don't think he's killing Jake the first time. I think he's taking basically the same story, but I think it's going to be done slightly differently so that they can
I've heard
cut things out and kind of shorten it a little.
what I've heard is just I think this is going to set up for maybe a TV series you're going to do.
Intended to launch a film and television franchise, the first installment combines elements from several novels in the 8-volume series, taking place partly in modern-day New York City and partly in Midworld, Roland's Old West-style parallel universe. Additionally, King has tweeted the photo of the Horn of Eld with the caption, "Last Time Around," which relates to the ending of the final book, Dark Tower, Episode 7.
Yeah.
Arcel said that the fans will have the movie as a sequel to the book events. The film is set to be released August 4th, 2017.
The film is a sequel to the book events? Is that what you just
Yeah,
said?
it's after the Dark Tower. It's
Okay.
it's after the 7th book.
So, from what I remember in the books, it kind of made it feel like this is a never-ending cycle, possibly.
Okay.
So I could see this being the same-ish story and the same cycle, but a new cycle.
Like I'm fine with what they do because like
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be a direct adaptation.
No, it doesn't need to be a
which it
direct
doesn't look like it's going
adaptation.
to, but-
I'm just gonna fucking love it anyways.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Even
I
if
hope
they-
it doesn't
looks
suck.
amazing.
I really hope it doesn't suck. That's my.
Right?
And
I
the
could
actors they have, Idris Elba, and then I forgot his name. All right. Who plays the dark?
I don't know.
Man, I feel really stupid.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
McConaughey. They're both solid actors.
And it says this is just a wiki, so it could be wrong. The follow-up TV series on September 26th, Entertainment Weekly reported that following the release of the film, a TV series set within the same continuity scheduled to be released in 2018. Both Elba and Taylor are set to reprise their roles as Roland and Jake, respectively.
Yes.
Reportedly, the series will potentially fill in the backstory of the film, being based on the Stephen King's Dark Tower 4, Wizard and Glass. The star, a young actor playing young Roland.
Huh.
Okay, that's cool.
All right.
Which would make sense.
Well, that's the one where basically there's a bunch of flashbacks of how.
Yeah, that was all flashbacks,
Okay,
basically.
cool, yeah.
So basically, that would be. So yeah.
And how he felt
So
about-
the movie is set after the books,
Yep.
from what it looks like.
And then the series is going to be kind of after, continuing it, but also
Flashbacks.
That's
flashbacks.
I think it's a very interesting series. I think the concept of this is an interesting thing.
Well,
I don't know how well
yeah.
it's going to transfer.
Well,
you know.
the whole thing, Stephen King basically set it up that this series can do whatever the fuck it wants, because the Midworld basically is connected to all realities.
It's connected to all the books.
Basically
I've read by Stephen King. It's connected. Besides, like the most recent book I've read, which is
Yeah, it connected with everything.
It's
though. It
connected with just
like,
about everything, yeah.
Connected with like Pennywise. It like
Yeah,
did it connect
is
with
in
like
it,
Firestarter
and
and
then-
Carrie?
It doesn't
the
say it, but
stand.
it references that it could be possible.
Yeah.
But like Salem's Lot is referenced quite a few times.
I don't know, basically, Salem's Lot has a big basis because of the vampires, and then the priest dude.
Yeah, Salem's Lot, but then there was another. Wasn't there another one about like wolves that was referenced? Or I'm fucking wrong. I probably like. I read a little bit of the Dark Towers. My favorite one was the second book.
The
I know,
wolves
they were all
that
fucking
were
amazing.
in which book was it when they were fighting in Village?
It was like 5 and part of 6. Like
Well, that was
the
the
wolves.
costume was based off of Doctor Doom. Besides
Yeah.
the wolf face. But
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I know it's going to be done.
The reason I wanted to add, like, because the mist is referenced in the Dark Tower. The short story in the.
is it? It is.
Yeah.
I have to reread. No,
The
you mean
creature-
Gunslinger. Okay, I'll have to
Yeah,
reread
the
Gunslinger.
creatures in the mist are referenced in the Dark Tower
Oh, yeah.
series.
Just
Like-
about everything he
Yeah, that's
wrote
true.
up until the end of him writing the Dark Tower series was referenced or given a place to survive.
See, exactly. Say what you fucking want about Stephen King's, like, the way he writes his shit. You know
He's
what I mean?
crazy and weird.
He's
I
crazy
fucking
and
love him.
weird.
Yeah.
But, like, he fucking coherent. Like, some of his even shittier books fit coherently into the story.
Yeah.
And that's impressive as shit to me.
Yeah.
Like, that is really fucking impressive. Like, I give that man kudos. Like,
oh hell yeah.
as a person who's like writing right now, like, it is fucking hard. Writing is hard. Keeping continuity is hard. And he's like, yep, made a book. That book's in that book. That
Yeah.
book's in that book. Oh yeah, and these creatures exist in this world too. What?
Well, there was something about it, like, he loved all of his books, and there's something, like, I think he said he started off writing his books as, like, dreams he used to have were bases for books. So, I feel like, because the Midworld is kind of a pseudo-dream world-ish, I feel like he wanted to make a combine and, like, give homage to that everything is part of his dreams a little bit.
Yeah, and I think
So, he made this dream world where all these exist.
yeah. So I think it's just extremely incredible. Like I do like 100. Like just it was fucking cool.
Yeah, it was.
Like it's just such a good trailer. Like even if it isn't like amazing, like
Yeah.
it's still gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Idris Elba though, like that guy
He's
can
a
play
good
anything.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
he mostly plays angry people.
Let that man play James Bond. God damn it.
He would be good.
He would be
Hashtag
phenomenal.
Elba for Bonds.
It would be good.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, it was just so good.
the Dark Tower is gonna make me ecstatic.
Yeah, no matter what it is, like no matter how it works, like
I'm probably gonna reread the books, knowing that the movie is coming out soon. I'll probably go to the library, get all the books, and I'm probably gonna reread through them.
but I think that's the thing. Like, even if it's like shitty, if you really like that series,
Oh yeah,
you're still going to like. As much as I shit on Dragon Ball Evolution and I shit on it hard, I have a respect for
you still fucking fanboy over
you
it.
fanboy over it. Like I remember like just the fact that like it exists. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yep.
That's the thing. Like it exists. Like it's shitty, but it exists.
But
And
it's fucking there.
it's fucking there.
Yes, it is.
And I think that is amazing. And I don't think we're gonna talk about it come tonight. I think that was a weird trailer. So.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah. It's a paranoia movie in the
Pretty
woods.
much. I thought
Yeah.
it looked like there might be werewolves.
It could have been done by Hitchcock.
Now it's time for the news.
Woot woot.
I guess we're being introduced to the world's first hero with Down syndrome, and I always thought that was the Hulk.
Oh shit!
Oh, no.
no. So I to be honest, I think that is like to me that's super interesting though. I think that's really
I'm totally okay
I
with
like it because it gives like kids with Down syndrome, like it makes them feel.
But I really
No,
okay. I want to point this out. I don't want them to keep continuously throwing it out that he has like. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
it to be said constantly. I want it to be known, but I don't feel like we need to fucking say it every fucking second.
Yeah. Superb, like new creation, superb launch. It's the comic book is called Superb. So I'm going to explain this. I'm not saying before anyone's like Kien hates people with Down syndrome and anyone with disabilities. I want to point this out. My problem with like making someone who is quote unquote diverse is that they then just fucking keep hitting on the fact that it's diverse. The Image comic Faith does that to a T. I'm a big busty fat girl, but I'm also a superhero. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Is that just your character? I don't want it to be just
That makes
his character.
total
I
sense,
think that is like I think look at like Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. Like she's Muslim, but that's not the premise of her character.
Yeah, that's not the point. The point isn't because she's Muslim. The point is she's still a superhero.
Yeah. That's my problem with like people who bitch about Marvel's diversity is like they don't fucking outright be like every time she sees a girl she's checking her out and shit like that. Like no, yes, she's like this fucking girl called Star Spangled Girl or something like that. She's like she's a Latino lesbian. Everyone's like, that's fucking stupid. This is just political. I'm like, but they don't reference like you don't reference.
They don't fucking throw it out there all the time.
It's just it's there to be known.
Yeah.
Like as long as your characters, like you can be as diverse as the fuck you want. Like I am for it, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Keep making Marvel and DC diverse. I think that's awesome because like to be fair, the people that are bitching about it are old white dudes because they don't want things to be changed. Like, no offense, like I'm not racist or anything like that, but I think it's like super fucking shitty when I can't go to a comic book and have someone be like, well, why is it a black character now?
It's
because life.
Yeah.
Comics have changed a lot in the past. Shit,
But I
like,
bet you
50,
hear
60
that though
years.
when you go to the shop though sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's
like,
fucking
some
stupid.
shit. I'm like,
It's obnoxious to me.
Yeah.
So, after that rant and repeat, Live Die, Edge of Tomorrow 2 gets a new title, and the original title for Edge of Tomorrow was called Live, Die, and Repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what the title for this is?
Live, die,
Repeat and repeat.
God damn it.
So they're gonna die more.
Okay.
Or come to life more.
They added a whole
How are
two
they making a
words.
sequel to it? Like, at first, it ended nicely, I thought.
Yeah. Well,
I don't fucking know.
money.
Like, for example, like, I thought the movie looked stupid before I even saw it. Okay, I was like, this looks stupid. And then, like, my brother told me, Jay, sit down and watch this. I watched it. It was phenomenal. But, like,
Do you know what it's based off of?
it's, shit.
A Japanese light novel.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
So it's like it's based off of manga.
Mhm. It was really
A
good.
fucking manga.
And so, I don't know.
And no one freaked out about it.
Yeah, it
oh,
wasn't
wait.
even like even said. So I think the majority of people just saw it because it looked decent.
Yeah.
Not because.
There was like weebs did not jump to it. So I'm just like I said, pointing that out there, guys. They changed the names from Japanese names to American names, so fuck you.
I don't know. Anyway. Next.
Rick and Morty are getting a merch truck touring the country with a truck-sized Rick.
Disappointed.
Why?
Why the fuck do they need a merch truck? Do you know how much merch they fucking sell anyways?
Wubba lubba dub dub!
You don't
Get
need
Swifty.
this.
Pretty positive if they just sell
Get
Szechuan
t-shirts.
sauce, I would be happy. If like they're like, we're coming to Des Moines, alright, fuck you guys, fuck work, I'm gonna go drive to Des Moines, eat Rick and Morty Szechuan sauce,
Even if it tastes like shit.
even if it
Road
tastes
trip.
like shit. Kien, you could lose your job. Fuck my job.
Fuck my job. I'm taking one day
Szechuan
off.
sauce is life.
God
Did it
damn
all for the Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, yeah,
Come back the next day. I did it for the Szechuan sauce.
yeah.
You're fired.
So, we're gonna. This is gonna sound super weird and like really fucking harping about the video game community because as a person who doesn't play video games, I might have a weird opinion and people won't listen to me. But I'm getting sick and fucking tired of pre-downloadable characters for DLC fucking season passes.
Yeah, I think it really is too.
I'm
However,
saying
it's
this because
basically-
Injustice 2 has this.
Well,
Check out our new DLC pack.
Also-
We have Starfire, Red
also-
Hood, and Sub-Zero.
what's stupid is that like different companies, it's like Best Buy, GameStop, Walmart, they have their own exclusive characters. Now, that's what is really stupid. Okay, so you can buy from this, so you won't get all of it then. You know what I mean?
In general, I think that season passes are stupid because you don't get the full game.
That's true.
Like
Well, yeah.
Star Wars Battlefield
Yeah.
was fucking synonymous for that.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't get the full game
EA
unless
is
you
a
paid.
scumbag, but, like, I think, like, for example, out of, like, for things aside, like, CD Projekt Red, they did it really well. Their season pass was, like, you got 2 DLCs for The Witcher 3, and they were Blood and Wine and then Hearts of Stone. Those alone could have been separate games, which is awesome. And then you got all the little, like, cosmetic DLCs, like, you know, like, different skins or mini little quests. Those were free. That's how
Those were free and just optional downloads.
That's how it should be, I think. And CG Projekt Red were good guys, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's why I just have a problem with just DLCs in general, with Xenoverse 2, which is just I like playing Xenoverse 2. It's just a rehash. It's a better rehash of Xenoverse 1, but you had to pay for a fucking season pass for every and they didn't have everything all out because Super wasn't to that area. So now they're just showing now the Universal Survival Art characters are gonna be here. Just you wait. I'm like, that's fucking dumb. I don't want to pay money for lackluster shit.
For your game to evolve the way it should, it's paying money for an incomplete game.
Yeah.
And it fucking bothers
So
me.
in the end, you pay $100. You basically pay because the season pass was an extra $20 to $40. So you
Depends on the
basically
game,
pay
but
for
yeah.
a fucking $80 to $100 game.
Battlefield, it's their premium pass, quote unquote, and that's an extra $60 in a roadie on top of a $60 game.
Yeah. So
$120.
that is fucking
It
ridiculous
is.
to me. I don't think
it's fucking irritating.
Fallout is understandable. Fallout 4 was understandable because most of their fucking expansion packs play out as an entirely different game.
What?
Did Fallout 3 have a season pass?
No.
No, you bought those individually.
Skyrim didn't have one either.
No,
did it?
they were bought individual DLCs.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
In the long run, see, they were individual $9 DLCs, but that's a mini in itself. It's a mini
Well, I
arc.
think Bethesda is okay if they're, depending on what they do, is okay if their season passes.
Their Elder Scrolls and their Fallout worlds are very good with their season passes because it's not incomplete games, it just adds more to the game.
Yeah, because Fallout 4 has basically Pokemon where you fucking crap death claws and other creatures.
Yeah,
and
you
have to
trap
fight
them.
each other. That's fucking awesome.
It is,
right?
But then your settlements get attacked more by those creatures. Fuck. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of weirdness. I enjoyed Fallout 4's actual DLCs, not the ones for fucking building shit.
Yeah,
in
the
your
actual there
settlement.
was Automata, and there was Nuka World, and
Far Harbor.
which were
Far
really
Harbor was
fun.
fun.
I think
really
those
liked Far
3
Harbor.
should have been DLC.
Yeah.
I think the other ones should have just been
Updates.
released.
Yeah,
I think I think that shit's ridiculous.
Well,
I hate cosmetic ones. I think they're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Those are literally I know I'm not one of those people, but I really cringe to know that there's people out there that are like, oh my gosh, I got horns to put on my character so he's different online.
who gives a fuck?
That
Right.
to me, it makes me feel like I'm such an asshole about people. Because this is probably that only person's life and well-being, and I'm just shitting on this guy's probably had a shitty day, and probably he's excited because my day was shit, and now I can customize my character.
Okay, well, I think another exception aside is for League of Legends, some of the skins are actually really neat, and it adds different little animation stuff.
Yeah.
I know, but I still think that's ridiculous
I think
too.
it's- well,
I wish
don't
there,
know.
what I want is ways to earn skins,
That would be
or
nice,
you
too.
could buy them outright.
Mhm.
Don't make it easy to earn skins.
Yeah.
Make people have to work for them.
Get a certain
obviously.
amount of kills without dying and shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make you have to earn it, but then you could also buy it if you really want it.
Uh-huh.
Or you could just acquire them. And League kind of has that,
It does
I
with their
guess.
boxes.
The fucking boxes. But you can only earn 1 box per character per season, and then keys are a pain in the ass to open the boxes, but eh.
Yeah.
But a way to earn it.
I do. I have a weird that was my thing. I have a weird problem with DLCs and shit like that. So, on to the next news. Star Wars fans vote to make Dr. Aphira.
Wait, question. What was the news about for that one? We were just
DLC pack for Injustice.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
I said that. You were cutting into it
I'm
when I was
sorry,
explaining
yeah.
to it.
We kind of covered it, yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars fan votes to make Dr. Aphira to become a vintage figure. I don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't know who that is either.
Alright, so Jay doesn't know who that is, so we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
we're
think
out.
she's from the comics, so
Probably.
Okay, so she's a comic book character. The first look at the Inhumans, very weird. They look like CW characters.
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture. Come over here. They look very, very weird. They're just
fuck?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so who was the cast?
Guy from Hell on Wheels.
Oh, sweet.
She played
I heard about
Zatanna.
that,
Yeah, she played Zatanna. She's Medusa. Don't know where she's from. He was from X-Men: The Last Stand. Can't remember him, and he was fucking asshole from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So the characters. Okay, I don't know the name of the actors, but I know the name of the characters. So it's Black Bolt, Medusa, Maximus,
Anson, Mount. That's the guy who plays Black Bolt.
Maximus the Mad. Maximus the Mad. The people that are pictured here are Crystal, Medusa, Black Bolt, Maximus the Mad. Fucking what is his name? Gorgon and Karnak. Okay, so I'll give a brief summary of everyone's powers. Gorgon has bull feet that creates tremors, and he is the leader of the army. Karnak is a master strategist and master martial artist. Black Bolt is the king. He can't speak, but because he has a supersonic voice. Medusa is Black Bolt's queen, and she has the power to control her hair. Crystal is Medusa's sister, and she controls all 4 elements. And Maximus the Mad is a crazy dude because he's a telepath and he has PCI energy. And because he's a telepath, everyone's thoughts come into his head and he goes crazy. Maximus is the bad guy.
Okay. That's disappointing, but okay.
And so the idea of the Inhumans is that it's supposed to be like Marvel's Game of Thrones, quote unquote.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
All
Which,
right.
okay, I will make this counterpoint of it. I think that it looks too CW-ish for me. When you look at the trailer for the Defenders and you see how fucking not CW it looks and how like real their costumes look and all that, it just throws it off to me. Where like then you see Cloak and Dagger and you don't see them wearing ridiculous costumes either.
Just
You know what I mean? Like,
teenagers.
yeah, Daredevil's costume makes sense, and it makes sense that none of the other characters are wearing
costumes. They also explained his
costumes.
costume. It's like all bulletproof and stuff.
Yeah, where the others don't wear a costume, and it makes total sense. Like everyone was really pissed off Iron Fist didn't wear his costume, but I'm like, why would he wear it?
Right?
He's not doing much.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what really bothered me about that. And it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, like
which channel's premiering this again?
well, it's gonna be on IMAX first, the first 2 episodes, but then it's gonna go to ABC.
IMAX? Wait, IMAX has your own channel?
Yeah.
IMAX theaters.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're gonna IMAX theaters, and then So like, one trailer we forgot to talk about was the Defenders, and I'm super hyped about it because all that shit gets me stoked as fuck about more Marvel shit. I'm like, yeah. Kung Fu.
It looks really good.
It looks pretty good.
Sigourney Weaver is
They're
the
literally
villain.
like you basically have 2 people who just kick the shit out of people, and then 2 guys who are well trained in martial arts. That makes me fucking stoked.
Yep.
I think it's really funny though. Daredevil puts on Jessica Jones's mask, and his mask looks reminiscent to what Iron Fist mask should look like.
Right.
And like the memes are like going around. Are you Daredevil? No, I'm the immortal Iron Fist. And it looks really good.
It looks good.
It
I'm
does.
glad they're combining Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Yeah, because Power Man and Iron Fist was like fucking dope as shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, so it'll be good. I'm glad because both of those series are kind of over-ish, so I'm glad they're continuing on their stories.
Yeah, because what I guess I didn't hate Iron Fist, but I wasn't in love with I should have been the one who should have been in love with Iron Fist. Like I loved Iron Fist and Power Man. I loved Luke Cage. It brought Luke Cage was like spot on Cage. Iron Fist was just like parts of it were like the martial arts were fucking cool.
They were.
But the story was just and Danny is just a
He's a crybaby.
He's very crybaby.
Yes.
But yeah.
So when is this going to premiere again?
September.
September.
September,
Okay.
yeah.
They made a Thing board game.
What?
The Thing.
The thing? A board game of them?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like it's just. I don't have a fucking picture.
Oh, I don't. Is it like a Kickstarter then, or is it?
No,
like
it's a board game coming out.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
It's basically it's a game of paranoia. Like one of your first people are the thing and can't tell which one it is.
Oh, so it's like a house on something. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just.
That could be an interesting board game. It'd
I
be
think,
one
yeah.
of those of like you're all playing and whoever is the thing is like playing along with it, but at the same time trying to hide what they are.
Is it like? Is it station? Is it based where the first movie was set at?
I have no idea.
That'd be cool.
No idea.
I
It
assume as much.
maybe.
Danny DeVito and Jeff Goldblum are working on a TV show about musicians. For
I heard
Amazon.
about that. Yeah.
I think that's super interesting. I would love to see fucking Ruxin's dad and Dee and fucking
What's his face?
fuck. Golden God. His dad.
Jesus.
Yeah. Being together. I think it works really well. They work really like they play brothers apparently that are musicians. I think that's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
It's a great time for comedy.
It would.
Yeah, it would be good.
Now to talk about what I'm really fucking stoked about. China is entering the giant robot fight with their fucking mech. And do you know what their name of their mech is?
I fucking. Tell me.
Monkey King.
Yes.
Oh my god. It's on Wukong.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Oh, it makes me so happy. Dude, it makes me so fucking happy. Like the reference to the Journey to the West, my nerd boner is just up
Like,
there.
are we gonna be able to watch this on like basic cable
I have no
channels or
idea.
streaming somewhere?
I hope it's just
Yeah.
streaming. Like, I
Yeah,
like
hopefully
Twitch.
it's streaming.
I hope it's like Twitch, and they're just like, yeah, watch it, guys. Fucking robots fighting.
This is gonna be the basis of how we start fighting wars.
Someone text Ryan, but
I don't
this
think
is-
he's fucking showing
Yeah, I
up.
don't think he is either. But this
We've
is
got like 3 topics left, and I don't think he's gonna make it.
it's kind of lackluster though. I feel bad because this is something he would want to talk about. But Ridley Scott says Alien 5, made by Neil Blomkamp, the guy who made District 9, is probably never going to happen. Which sucks because I saw a lot of concept for the 5th Alien movie, the quote unquote 5th Alien movie. Before I get like weird. I'm glad Ryan's not here because
Yeah.
it's not technically the 5th Alien movie. Like fuck off. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. So that's a little lackluster and sad.
He's pulling dispense right now.
Okay, so he might get here for next.
For Guardians.
He might pull in
because we're gonna have to
during-
take a break anyways. We're reaching an hour. But
Yeah, we're reaching an hour. We do still have one topic left, and that's the movie.
yeah, which is our main topic.
Yep.
But no, like so he goes. So which is lackluster and sad. But like I don't know. I'm not a big Alien fan. I'm not like
I don't know. I enjoyed the movies, but like I never really got
into the lore.
into it that much.
Yeah, like see,
I-
that's the thing.
So I'm sorry, I was texting Ryan. I really enjoy the Alien movies. I enjoy that kind of that genre of space marines. Well, that was with the aliens. But like Alien was cool with the horror and stuff, and like the real world like-ish sci-fi, like like it's how the ships look lived in, and they don't look like all shiny and stuff.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. It's
Yeah, they're well-made movies. They're great series. I just never super fell in love just fan.
I never
over
Ryan.
it. Yeah, I never went full
see, like,
Ryan.
I
over
love
it.
with Ryan. Like I've read some of the comics and I've read some of the books and stuff.
See, I
It's
got
really
the
cool.
comics for Christmas. I just never really got into it. Like it was just never my thing. Body horror was never body horror makes me uncomfortable to begin with.
Jump scares make you uncomfortable.
It's jump scares in video games.
Hashtag outcast.
Outlast.
Outlast.
My bad.
Great fucking game, and he can't make it to the first jump scare without either A, getting ready to chuck the controller, or B, just instant pausing the game.
Like, no, we're done. I heard the music. No, when you hear the fucking music, you know something's happening, and I'm smart. I'm smart.
The music plays
You
the
was
whole
smart.
game.
You was beautiful.
You is kind. Okay, we're gonna go on a break because that was racist as shit. All right, we'll be back. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Hey guys, we're back from our
These are our
break.
friends, Jay.
We
We're
gained a
back.
guy.
Yeah.
Yep, Ryan made it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ryan's here. Hey Ryan.
Hi guys.
Hey. All right, so we're here. I haven't seen Guardians yet, but these guys talk about Guardians. You can spoil it all you
We
want. I've
can.
read the wiki. I don't give a
Oh, you
fuck.
have?
I've already
Oh.
spoiled like most of it
Yeah.
to him.
Spoiler.
Oh,
Spoiler alert!
Okay, go on.
Wait, there's a spoiler alert?
Yeah,
Oh,
Guardians
don't
of,
kill me!
Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is about to be spoiled.
For
So-
those of you who haven't seen it yet.
Yes. Yeah. So Guardians of the Galaxy 1 ends with they beat Rodin. Oh, did I ruin it for people?
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Shit.
But
He
then
does
it,
dance.
Yeah. So then it goes to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I will let you guys take it off. Go from there.
Well, it starts off with Kurt Russell's character, Ego Living Planet, and then Star-Lord's mother, what's her name? Helen?
Something like that.
Something like
Helen Keller.
Fucking, let's just call her Water Lily because that's how
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
referenced
Water
through the
Lily.
whole fucking movie
I'm
anyways.
just kidding. It's not Helen Keller. Oh, but it would have been amazing if his mom was Helen
It was
Keller.
Meredith, by the way. Fucking idiots.
So close.
Yup.
Meredith, Helen, same difference.
They're the same.
Yup.
Yeah.
It's a woman's name.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Fuck off.
Okay, back to
Anyway,
the story.
After they're cruising around in his like Firebird or whatever, and
You
they
got
go
a
to
Firebird?
Yeah.
And-
Okay, this is in the 80s.
Yeah. And
God
then,
damn it.
And then they go to Dairy Queen, fucking product placement, and they go walk off past Dairy Queen into the woods, and there's this.
He shows her a plant in the ground, and he's like, I didn't know if it would take root, but I'm glad it did. Yay! And she's
That's the
all,
only thing that's gonna take root.
and she's all, I'm glad I fell in love with a spaceman. I'm glad you fell in love with me. Ah, dream come true. Fucking tumors planted in people's brains.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that about 2/3 of the way through the movie. But, and then it jumps forward 32, 34,
36.
36 years. So, wherever we're at in the actual storyline of Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yup.
he doesn't look like he's approaching 40. He looks like he's in his mid to late 20s. But,
A place and time. That's where we're at.
Yep.
Yeah.
in the future, we are on.
In the present.
Well, it's present, yeah. 26,
it's quote unquote present.
17.
2017.
Yeah.
But the Guardians of the Galaxy are now hired to protect batteries
Yes.
from some interdimensional creature that they have a scanner that can tell when creatures are traveling through dimensions,
Yes.
but we still can't bullshit travel through dimensions anyways.
Oh well.
But
Science.
for these fucking, what are they called? The
Douchebags.
I can't remember. The
This-
golden people.
Golden douche-
the
Yes.
golden
What I'm
people,
going to
something
call
that
them.
starts with an S, like, I don't know.
The Sovereigns.
Solid.
I haven't even seen the fucking movie.
You read the wiki?
I know.
Yeah, they call it
There's
the
probably
Sovereign.
more information in the wiki than
There
there was
is a
in
lot
the
more.
movie.
There was an egregious amount of information, so I
They're-
really like
they're-
didn't
they're
feel like I missed
douchebags.
out.
There's
Okay. They're
Which-
eugenic douchebags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're genetically perfect,
They
which is why they're
produce-
all gold.
They produce their own people, genetically engineer a person to be predetermined for what they're going to do in their life. And they're basically a giant pile of dicks.
Why are they?
They're assholes.
Because they think everyone else is inferior, right? I'm
Yes.
assuming. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like when they
basically.
go to talk to them after defeating the creature, they're like, alright, none of you say shit, because if you offend them, that's considered
death.
treason, and treason is instant death.
Jesus Christ.
So they piss them off anyways.
But
Lo and
before
behold.
that, the leader flirts with Peter Quill. It's like,
Yeah,
God damn it.
She wants to be
Oh,
trained in the history of natural reproduction, or some bullshit like that.
So Quill is like, alien ladies all up on this.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? I
Um,
mean, like, doesn't everybody like getting a dick stuck in them?
Whoa.
I don't.
Holy
I
shit.
don't. But,
So the raccoon stole batteries.
Basically, because he thought they were dicks, and because he could.
Yeah, because he could. He was like, the batteries were easy to steal, and Drax was like, ha 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 ha. Oh, nothing happened. 'Cause Drax is an emotion
Drax-
challenged person.
I think Drax was by far my
Yes.
favorite part
He had
of this
some
movie.
really good one-liners.
He was the most enjoyable part of this movie.
I don't know.
Besides Pac-Man.
Besides fucking Pac-Man.
Also, I would just say Kurt Russell made the movie really well. I think Kurt Russell's character was made in the movie. I think.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
thought
the
Kurt
movie,
Russell
but
did a good
like
job.
from the snippets, I think Taserface is my favorite.
Taserface.
Alright, that's about halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
That was the most enjoyable
That was.
5 minutes of the movie.
To the plot again.
The most enjoyable part of the movie, the part that I laughed the hardest at, was when they started jumping through dimensions really fast, and their faces,
Their faces
all
just start
distorted.
morphing. Yeah.
When it pans over to Rocket, and his face is just like huge. I
His
couldn't
eyes
stop
are like
laughing.
balloons out of his
Is
head,
that-
and you're like, oh.
Or when everyone's okay at like that one part, and then just something hits Mantis and she's out cold. That caught me surprised.
Jay and I burst
That
out
was
laughing in the movie theater during that.
Like
Right.
when they're at the end when
What?
when
Yeah, I
Ego when Ego and Peter are about to duke it out, and he's starting to like form this rock guy. I was like, oh, they're gonna fight as two giant rock guys, and
Yeah.
that's gonna be cliche and stupid. And nope, pans out, and Peter is transformed into Pac-Man eating rocks. It was fucking amazing.
Yes.
They kind of preluded to, because when Ego is telling Peter that he can create stuff using this power that he has as like an immortal, he's just
Celestial.
like he
Yeah, as a
celestial.
celestial.
He literally stops and he just goes like, I'm gonna make so much stupid shit.
Say that.
100-foot tall replicas of blah blah blah, and you're just like, oh my god. Alright, back to plot. The fucking douchebag golden people,
The Sovereigns.
the sovereigns pull their douchebaggery, and they give, what's her face, the green lady,
Gamora.
Gamora, back her
sister.
sister.
Nebula.
Nebula, yeah.
Yeah, alright, Kien's got the names.
10 out of 10 can see why Peter is into Gamora.
Yup,
Yep.
she's got great
Skills.
assets.
You have lovely birthing hips.
Yeah.
Back to the plot.
Back to the plot. So as they're walking away, fucking Rocket, it looks over at Drax and is like, wanna buy some batteries? And Drax just
Yeah.
bursts out laughing and has to be like, oh, nothing.
Yup.
So they leave, they're flying away, and they're getting ready to hop to some next planet to drop off
Whatever the fuck.
Nebula.
Gamora's sister, Nebula.
Nebula, yeah.
And fucking golden douchebags all pop out in little tiny remote
Yeah.
controlled
Sovereign-
spaceships.
Sovereign realizes that they took the batteries. Everybody's freaking out in the
And they're
ship.
chasing after the Milano.
Rocket and Peter are fighting for pilot controls over the ship while they're
Yes, they
flying
are.
through this basically minefield,
Yeah,
trying to get away from them.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking
Which, again-
quantum asteroids.
Quantum
So
asteroids, yeah.
asteroids that are there and then not
Not
there
there.
at the same
Same
time.
time.
So they're fucking popping in and out of reality like bullshit.
Uh-huh.
And this also brings up one of my favorite lines of the movie when Rocket talks about leaving a little surprise that's squishy in Peter's
Yeah.
pillow for him. And he's like, so you're gonna leave a turd in my pillow? And he's like, yep.
Yep.
Only it won't be mine. It'll be Drax's.
Drax's.
And then Drax just goes like, I have notoriously large turds. And it's like, oh my god.
Yes.
Great.
It was.
Yeah. This leads to some of the fucking golden people damaging the ship, and the
Oh,
back
wow.
becomes open.
Mhm.
So they have to make a shield. Drax pulls a Drax and basically ties a rope around his waist and jumps the fuck out of the
With a giant
spaceship
gun.
with a giant gun and just starts shooting at people. Because
Why not?
only Drax would be like, I got an idea. We can't shoot behind us right now because our ship's gone. I'm jumping out with a gun.
So basically, they think they get away, then they get out of this field of like all these asteroids that are popping in and
Yeah.
out, and then the rest of the Sovereign fleet comes around, and then they're just like, oh shit, they went around the field, and then it's basically just like they're fucked, and then all of a sudden
Boom.
they're all gone. They
And
got
you see
destroyed.
this guy stand on this like egg-shaped ship,
He's-
and he like
And
he's
he's-
just standing tall. Yeah.
He's on stand on top
And
of
he,
it,
like-
holding a couple ropes.
Yeah.
Doesn't
ropes,
he
and
like
just-
give him the peace
Yeah,
sign?
he gives the
or
peace
whatever?
sign and just
Yeah.
rides away, and you're like, the fuck is
And then they
this?
And then they jump to the planet that they're trying to get
Ego's
to.
planet.
No, they
Cra-
jumped to.
Oh, yeah, my
they
bad, the other
crash
planet.
land onto the planet they were going to drop Nebula off on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So was it Ego that saved them, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ego's the
Ego
one that
saved
saved them.
You find out
But they
Ego
don't
saved
know
them
that
here
yet.
in a couple
Yeah.
Yeah.
couple scenes.
Yeah, it was basically like, what the fuck did that? And then Rocket's just like, it was a guy on a ship
With no suit.
about like that big. And then they're just like, so he was an inch big. And he's like, well, I'm sure he would have been bigger if he was closer.
God, I love Rocket.
Yes.
And then the fucking egg flies through the rift and just comes to them and is like, Ego walks out and he's like, I've been looking for you. And everybody's like, who? Be like, I figured with my ridiculously good looks, you would be able to tell who I am. And the fucking, they're just sitting there going, what? And they're like, Peter. And he's like, Peter, I'm your dad. He's like, oh shit. Okay.
So that happens.
Yes.
And then pan over to another planet. We find Yondu basically hanging out on what his. It's basically it.
Pleasure
It's a
planet
giant
on
strip
ice.
club on one planet.
Yeah, it's basically Amsterdam.
Yeah,
like heaven.
pretty much. Yeah. We're introduced to Sylvester Stallone in this scene,
Mhm.
being one of the
Ravager.
Ravager commanders.
Mhm.
Yep.
And he's basically telling Yondu, you fucked up with past stuff. You're no longer a Ravager.
You're no longer a Ravager. You'll never have a Ravager funeral. You'll never pass on and be
Yeah.
appreciated as a
Yeah,
Ravager.
Because, and this is kind of where it vaguely kind of introduces some of the more of the plot, because they mentioned something about what he did with.
he was
Kids.
he was
Kids, yeah.
transferring kids, and he was like and Sylvester
And that's
Stallone
like the
is
one
like the
rule that
one
they
rule
have.
is like don't
Do that.
Child
interact with.
smuggling.
Yeah,
don't-
basically.
Don't deal in child smuggling.
So then Yondu gets really pissed off. You figure out that a bunch of his crew is like really pissed that he's been doing this,
Which-
and they want a new captain to be an actual Ravager because he's Yondu.
This-
Apparently.
This movie was, I don't know, it was a Peter Quill story, but it was also a Yondu
I think it was more
story
like a, I think it was
too.
like just a family. Like
It was a
like,
very family-oriented
family-oriented.
movie.
Yeah.
You
Not- yeah.
followed
But
Peter.
let's be clear here. It was a family-oriented movie, but it was not a family-oriented
Yes, absolutely.
movie.
Right.
Yeah.
This movie
was about family.
Do not bring your kids to this one.
Yeah, no.
Like Rogue One, do not bring your
leagues
kids.
way more
Yes, it
inappropriate
does.
and violent than the first Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy
yes.
movie.
Yeah.
I think some parents were horrified with.
Yeah, there
having
were
their
some
kids in
little
there.
kids
Yeah,
in the
like
theater
right
when
in
we.
front of us. It was like,
There was like an
oh,
8-year-old
God.
sitting in front of us, and like the mom didn't even flinch when it went to the strip club world. She just kept going. Like,
She's like, fuck it, we're already here.
yeah, she was like, "We're already here. Nah,
Which,
watch it."
Yeah.
And this, I don't know, this movie was way more violent than the first Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
Like Yondu's little scene when he gets his fin back and starts
Oh,
just
cool.
fucking people up. I was like, oh, they're
That was
actually
cool.
showing the arrow going through
Plot!
people and the blood.
Yep.
And-
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so back to plot.
Yeah.
They after Yondu and Sylvester Stallone have their argument, Yondu's basically kicked out of the Ravengers.
And then the Sovereign pop out of nowhere.
The Sovereign basically show up and walk up to Yondu and are like, "We have a request. We want you to get somebody for us and bring him back to us.
Mhm.
Who is it? The Guardians of the Galaxy. We want the Star-Lord." And Yondu goes, "Okay." He's like, "I got this."
Money.
Little do we know, Yondu is actually
Double crossing them, basically.
double-crossing
Yeah.
them basically and has paternal...
He has his own plans.
He's-
Yeah,
Some
he has his
plans.
own plans for Peter.
Like,
Meanwhile, while all of this is going on, you have fucking Taserface
Taserface.
standing off to the side with some other Ravengers, and he's basically starting what is going to become a mutiny against Yondu.
And there's this one guy who's like, no, who stands up for Yondu. Who's like, no, Yondu's always been blah, blah,
Which,
blah.
I'm just going to throw this out there really quick. For anybody that's a fan of Sons of Anarchy, Chibs is a fucking Ravenger.
Yeah.
Don't know who Chibs is, not gonna
I
Yeah.
freaked the fuck out when I saw that because I'm a huge Chibs fan. He was my favorite character in Sons of Anarchy. I just want to put that out there.
Okay, so after we see this little scene of the Ravengers starting their mutiny, We pan back to Peter, the Guardians, and now Ego and
Mantis.
Mantis, who is basically accompanies Ego.
She helps him sleep.
She helps him sleep. That gets explained when they go to leave. Yeah. But Gamora takes Peter aside and explains like she wants him to go be with his dad.
He always because she told him about the story. Like he told her
The David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff. Like he always said, David Hasselhoff. So you're filming this, so he's off in his band. And he always got the picture of David Hasselhoff in his pocket.
So like Peter used to pretend that David Hasselhoff was his dad because he never knew his dad, and he always felt bad that other kids had dads and were going to games and shit. So he came up with this. David Hasselhoff's my dad, so at least I'm still a cool kid, basically.
Yeah.
And then, so Gamora convinces him that they're gonna go with Ego back to Ego's planet because she's like, this could be your chance to actually have a David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
So, Gamora, Drax, and Peter get on Ego's ship, and they leave, and that leaves Rocket.
And Nebula.
And Baby Groot. Baby Groot.
It's fantastic.
We love Baby Groot.
Baby Groot's adorable.
But Rocket is really pissed off at Peter because Peter got pissed at him for stealing the batteries for no reason.
Yeah.
So they started being complete assholes to each other.
Yep.
And this is the beginning of where Rocket starts to realize that like he pushes everybody away who gets close to him.
By being a dick.
By being just an absolute asshole, even though he feels for them still. And then after they leave on Ego's ship, Rocket
is basically repairing.
Rocket's repairing the ship.
Don't call me a raccoon. Okay then, Trash Panda.
Trash Panda. Yes.
Is
that better or is that worse? I don't know. It's totally worse. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. So you see them on the ship for a short scene where you realize Mantis is an empath. She doesn't. What?
That.
Yeah, pretty much. She doesn't read people's minds or thoughts or anything. She feels their emotions.
Yeah.
So she displays this on Peter and is like, you feel love, not just like a close connection, but true love for somebody.
Sexual love.
Sexual love. Gamora walks in, and Mantis is like, for her! And Drax just goes, ah! This is your deepest, darkest secret. You must be so embarrassed. Do me!
And then she's like, I help the Ego sleep. And Drax is like, oh, I want that. And she like...
She touches him on the head
and
he
just sleep.
Boom! And Drax just falls back.
Out.
So then we cut back to Rocket. We assumed Rocket was on the ship because you hear him singing along to music. And you see Yondu's group is closing in on the ship. Little do Yondu's group know, Rocket already knew they were there and has been planting like fucking minefields out in the area.
Everywhere.
Has fucking just all kinds
Gravity
of bullshit
mines,
going on out there. And he wipes out a fuck ton of them.
Yeah.
And
he's enjoying it.
he enjoys it way too fucking much.
Yeah, he's having so much fun.
And the only reason that they aren't killed is because Nebula convinces Baby Groot to save Rocket. The only way is to free Nebula.
Yep.
So Baby Groot unlocks her handcuffs.
Yes.
That's nice.
And she pulls a dick move.
Double crosses them.
Double crosses them. Kind of double crosses Yondu's group and becomes the switch point for when the actual mutiny happens.
Yeah,
but her motives, her ulterior motives further on make a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense, but they don't explain it now. Yeah. She just seems like a dick.
Basically, Yondu has Rocket cornered. He has his little arrow thing in Rocket's face and could pretty much kill him at any moment. And he's explaining to the Ravengers that he doesn't plan to take the Guardians back to the Sovereign. Then they all start getting pissed at him and like bring their guns up on each other.
Yeah.
Then Nebula comes from behind, blasts Yondu's fucking fin off of his head. And
I thought Yondu was dead.
I thought he was dead after that.
Yeah, so did I for a little bit. So that's when the mutiny happens, and we skip to
The most brutal scene in the movie when they're putting people out of their lock.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
we jump to the scene of on Yondu's ship. The mutiny has happened, and they are
Putting supporters of Yondu
Yeah.
into the airlock. I thought it was
And
like a
just
jail cell,
releasing
first of
them.
all. That's
yeah.
what I thought.
It appears to be a jail cell the first way they do it, because like it just looks like a room, and they drop down an energy shield or whatever, so they can't get back.
Yeah.
And then they're like, bye bye, and they push a button, and the airlock opens, and
And
it
you
just
watch this guy
drifts.
freeze, and it just, I'm like, oh my
you
god.
watch him freeze, and then it kind of pans to the side a little, and you see just a trail of people who they have just
Yeah.
chucked off the ship, basically.
That scene was actually pretty
It
brutal.
was.
I was kind of surprised that they put that in there, if
Right.
I'm being completely honest.
And then this leads to Nebula. They're getting ready to kill Rocket, and then Yondu, and they've decided that Baby Groot is going to be their
Their
new
mascot.
But wait. Before that, though, Rocket's basically giving Taserface a fuck ton
Yeah,
of
Rocket
crap.
starts giving Taserface, the new quote-unquote leader, a fuck ton of bullshit
Yeah.
about why his name is Taserface. Taserface just keeps trying to come up with reasons like, it's a metaphor. Metaphor for what? It strikes fear in my enemies. Taserface strikes fear in your enemies. All I can think of is you woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, and said, Taserface is a scary name. And just the whole
Yes.
group of Ravengers just start laughing at
My
Taserface.
favorite one is he's just all like, I'm glad he didn't go with
Good
Scrotum
old
Man.
man. Yeah.
And then,
Oh, God.
as Taserface gets ready to beat the shit out of Rocket and kill him, Nebula steps forward and says, that's enough killing for today.
Mhm.
So they're done. They lock Yondu and Rocket up in this, looks more like a storage area with a cage door over it, because there's like containers and shit in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And they take Baby Groot to, apparently the ship has a fucking tailor.
Yup.
And they make-
little Ravager uniform.
They make 6-inch Groot a fucking Ravager uniform, and then put him in a fucking, the only way to explain it is it's a fucking cockfight with
Yeah.
just Groot in the middle, and they're all fucking yelling at him and screaming and stomping on the
I felt
ground.
bad. They were pouring alcohol.
They were like
and
pouring
shit,
alcohol on him and scaring the shit
and then
out
you
of him.
see like after that, you see Groot just like all downtrodden, and
Yeah.
sad. He's walking, dripping wet with alcohol towards
He's just
Yondu and
wandering through the
Rocket.
ship, and he happens to walk by
Yeah.
Yondu and Rocket, and they're both like, hey, guy, hey, Groot, help. So this leads into
Oh yeah.
probably one of my most enjoyable, probably the second most humorous scene, is Groot trying to find the fucking prototype fin for Yondu.
What's funny is Rocket's explaining. Okay, you have to explain it really carefully.
Really carefully, really specific, and really simple.
Yeah. And Groot just keeps bringing back a bunch of bullshit that's
The
not
most
it.
random shit, like he brings back a fucking toe,
A toe.
Yeah.
he brings back somebody's mechanical eye, he brings back some dude's underwear. Like he
That
just
was
bring-
Yondu's underwear.
Yeah, he brings back Yondu's underwear, and Yondu's like, right cabinet, wrong fucking drawer.
The best is either the toe or the eye.
Yeah, it was like, wait,
You guys don't happen to have toes laying around here, do you? No.
No.
So we just agree to never speak of this.
Or the eye, where Rocket's like, no, don't bring the eye back, Groot. We're gonna keep it here. Why? Because when he wakes up, he's gonna have no fucking clue where his eye is.
Groot
Yeah.
finally gets the fin. Well,
No.
no, he doesn't. One of the Ravengers that still likes Yondu.
The
and-
Ravenger who stood up for Yondu,
Yeah.
but also agreed that Yondu has become weak.
Fun fact: he's related. That's James Gunn's brother, I think. The guy who plays him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
But
Thanks,
basically...
Jay.
Sorry, I was. Yeah. Anyway.
Exposition.
Yeah.
Who?
Back to we were talking.
So basically, this guy finds Groot scavenging through the bedroom and is like, this is what you're looking for. Pulls out the prototype fin, walks back to Yondu, and is all sad. He's like, I didn't mean for this to happen. I wanted them to realize you've changed, but I didn't want to watch all my friends get ejected out of this spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
So Yondu looks at him and says, give me my fin and prepare, I don't know what he called
Like
it.
Hab 4, whatever.
Yeah, Habitat 4 or something like that for launch. So Yondu gets his fin reattached by Rocket and fucking calls his goddamn arrow, and ensues probably the most graphic couple
Carnage.
minutes of just carnage and destruction by Rocket and Yondu of just bullshittery.
But what's great
They
is
fuck
like
everyone up.
one of the guys who basically like treated Groot like shit could just pouring alcohol on Groot. Groot sees it like, whoa, and he just goes after the guy.
Yeah, Groot fucking chases this guy down, latches onto him, and fucking chucks him off in the middle of this Ravager ship. This guy's dropping like 10 stories now.
Yeah.
Groot just like hops back onto Rocket's shoulder and just walks away. We're all like, oh,
That happened.
Groot's a psychopath.
And Yondu sees Taserface on the video, sends his arrow after him, sets his arrow on fire, sends it into a bunch of fuel tanks, which starts making the ship explode. While it's exploding, Taserface calls Sovereign and basically and like gives them the coordinates to where they're gonna go, which is to Peter, so they can find him. And then he's just all like, and do me a favor, give them a message when you find them and let them know that the one that ensured their fate is named Taserface. And they basically laugh at his face, and then the ship blows up. So his last moments of life is basically going like, oh.
When it really is stupid. Well, shit. So, we pan back now to back on Ego's planet. They are getting there now, which I think it's really weird that Ego's ship...
Also, we forgot to mention Nebula takes, or did we mention that? She
No,
takes
we
off
didn't.
in one of the ships to go after Gamora.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nebula...
Because what she explains is this: first of all, she's going to defeat her sister, and after that, she's going to go and basically kill Thanos because Thanos was a dick to her, making
Thanos
her
is the
fight
reason
Gamora.
she is
Robotic.
robotic. Because Thanos pinned her and Gamora into fights while they were kids, and every time one of them lost, they got parts replaced with robots.
It was
Nebula
always
never won.
Nebula, yeah.
Yeah, Nebula always lost.
Mhm.
So she had her arm ripped off, her skull removed from her
eye,
body,
her
and her
brain.
eye torn out. So she's like, I
so
want
she
Gamora
could be
to...
Gamora's equal.
Yep.
Yeah. So...
Basically, everybody has a tragic story in this movie.
Pretty much.
One Piece.
Right. So now we go to Ego's planet, and Ego kind of walks them into this castle and is like, I am a fucking god, basically. I can create whatever I want, and this planet is me. The light within this planet is what I am. You, Peter, are my son. Kind of gives him a... It's not a quick story, but he basically says...
Gives him a synopsis.
He gives him the synopsis of, like, I was created, it took me... I don't know how I was born or whatever, I've been here. It took me millions of years to control my power of creating things, and I got lonely, so I went out exploring and found life.
Be alive.
And then I found it was sad, and so he, like, created this goal of himself to implant parts of himself all over the world so that he can, like, be everywhere. And basically he wants to become omniscient, is what it seems like at the time. So he kind of gives a little story of how he meets Martha and how Peter becomes a thing, and he's like, I can't... Meredith, whatever.
Martha!
It started with an M. I was closer than fucking Helen.
How great would it have been if Helen Keller was his mother?
Oh my god. So it goes into this, and Gamora is starting to get a bad feeling about what's going on. So, Ego... What?
And then, like, Mantis and Drax, like, they go and talk and stuff, and, like, Drax says, like, how Mantis reminds him of his daughter, and then she feels, like, his emotional pain, and then she's going to tell him something about Ego, and then they get interrupted by Gamora, and that's how Gamora gets the suspicious feeling
Before
about
that,
Ego.
it brings up one of my favorite parts of the movie, which is Drax berating Mantis about the way she looks.
She's ugly.
You're ugly.
Basically calls her ugly, and then after that, says that she reminds him of his daughter,
Yeah.
and looks over at him with this huge smile, and she's like, ugly? Like, implying that his daughter was ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then
that
the
was so
feels
funny.
really happen, and
Yeah.
you're like, no. And Drax is like, no, innocent. And then
Mhm.
he says something like, these ponds remind me of the lost ponds on my planet where I used to take my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she touches his shoulder, because Drax looks like he's emotional, which very rarely happens.
Mm.
So she touches him, and she just, like, breaks down. She's
Because
like,
she
I've
feels
never
his emotions.
felt such sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, I feel sorry, I need to tell you something. And Gamora walks in and it's like, tell him what? And Mantis is like, nope, never mind. Back to being shy.
Yep.
So while this is happening, Peter and Ego are talking, and Ego is explaining to him that he is Ego's son, so he can control the light too.
Oh, and he also tells him basically he went and banged a bunch of alien chicks
Yeah.
to find
That
the
comes
perfect
later.
project. Oh,
That
this?
comes
That comes
when-
a
Oh, you're
little
right, my
later.
bad, my
That comes
yeah,
when
you're
he's
right.
trying to convince Peter to
Oh,
be
yeah,
a
'cause
part
that-
of his thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in this part he's showing him how he can use his power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's explaining how to use the power. They have a fatherly bond moment. Peter's like
touch.
starts to create a physical, like just a blob. He's kind of like throws it to Ego like they're gonna play catch with this, and Ego just like squishes it into a ball, and then they start like
Playing
father
catch.
son
Yep.
like
Playing catch.
playing catch basically. And then Ego's like, I want to show you something, and walks him into the middle room. Is like, you're my son. You have the light inside of you. I want to tell you my goal is to be everywhere and love everyone. So I planted parts of me everywhere and made.
Well, before that, he's in Peter's room.
Yeah, because him and
Oh,
Gamora
yeah,
just had
he's-
an argument.
Explain, yeah.
Because she was telling him how she felt
Something's
was
going
Yeah.
on.
And then Peter gets angry at her, telling her that she is the reason that they're there because she said that he should go with him
Yep.
because he could finally be with his family and stuff. And then
She wants to take us away.
he was like,
Yeah.
I'm finally with my family, and you want to take it away now. And
Mhm.
she walks out and basically just goes like, I thought you already found your family.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she goes off on her own and just...
She fucking sits in the middle of nowhere.
And out of left field comes Nebula.
Nebula!
in a spaceship, trying
Yeah.
to kill the shit out of Gamora.
And they somehow happen to fucking fight each other. Nebula's attacking her in a spaceship. Gamora's running away. Somehow they happen to fucking find the cave.
Spaceship crashes through.
Spaceship crashes through. They find the cave. They fight. Spaceship falls down into a deeper cavern, and they find a bunch of skeletons.
Yup.
Yep.
And then it pans back to Ego telling Peter the story of how he met his mother and explaining, I don't know what the song is, but basically the song basically explains that the sailor loves somebody, but the sea is his true love, and Ego kind of says, I love your mother, but this planet is my true love, and if I don't come back here, I can't live.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes him seem like a dick because he never went back again. But
It's
But
Ego,
just wait, he becomes even more of a dick later.
yeah.
So it's a song Brandy, You're a Fine Girl by
Yeah.
Looking Glass. Anyway.
So Ego starts getting really mad at Peter because Peter's mad that Ego never came back. So Ego's like, I couldn't come back. I couldn't watch her die. I couldn't be there without her being alive. And Peter goes, I watched her die. And Ego seems to have this like real moment where he's like, fuck, I didn't even think that my son is there watching her die while I just left.
Mhm.
When in reality, you figure out that Ego doesn't actually give a shit,
Yep.
but
That's later.
that's a little later. So Ego is now bringing Peter in.
Showing him basically his true purpose and origin.
No, before he brings Peter in, you pan to fucking
Was it Yondu?
Yondu, Rocket, Baby Groot and the guy who I can't
Oh
remember.
my god,
the
yeah.
Ravager.
They're explaining. Yondu's explaining to Rocket that Ego is bad, and he didn't give Peter to him. He doesn't say it, but it's kind of implied that Yondu had paternal feelings for Peter.
Well, like he just didn't use. He said basically, Peter was small and good for grabbing stuff, and
And Rocket's like, that's the only reason. And Yondu kind of gives him this sly look of like, yeah. When more is implied, but he kind of is trying to put on this persona of he didn't love Peter, he just kept him around.
And then they jump.
They go to jump, and they're like...
Yeah, they're trying to get to Ego's planet, and Rocket punches in the coordinates and stuff, and Yondu's just like, what the hell are you doing? It's like going to the Ego's planet. We have to... Do you know what going through one jump does to somebody's body? And Rocket's just like, yeah, why? It's like, we have to go through like 700, and Rocket's just like, oh shit.
And they start fucking hopping through, and this is where the scene of Stan Lee is shown.
Well, actually, it's proved the theory that Stan Lee is a watcher, or what is it, a storyteller? What I can't remember.
He's a storyteller.
Yeah.
He's a watcher, but...
Yeah. But, yeah. It's basically Stan Lee's cameo that he does in just about every movie, is during this scene. But this is where you see Rocket, Yondu. Baby Groot doesn't show anything, I don't think. Nothing that extreme.
No, I don't think so.
But, like, everybody is basically getting warped to fuck.
And their face is just...
Like, have you ever used a Snapchat filter before?
The one that makes you look like a fucking square turd.
That's
the one.
Only way more extreme.
Right. So they're fucking bouncing through, and this is where Ego takes Peter down to the room where he first gave his synopsis of his life. He's like, I want to be everywhere. I want to love everyone. I've created billions and trillions of children to try and get my spark to pass to another generation, to have somebody be with me to do this on.
And he kind of realizes that Peter probably is not going to be fully on board because he's part human still, so he has an attachment to his friends. So he does this weird thing where he makes Peter kind of like see like the universe and stuff, and he kind of puts him in like this weird trance.
It looks like
it's beautiful.
He kind of gives him like an enlightenment of like, here's my goal. I'm not going to explain it. Kind of thing. He just like taps him and Peter understands. But it kind of takes over his mind a little bit too. So this is where Ego is talking about the goals and how I've had thousands and thousands of children brought to me and none of them had the spark. You're going to work with me.
And you're special. You're
special. You're the one that works. And some way or another, Peter's mom gets brought up again. And this is where Peter's like, I loved my mother. And I would have wanted to stay there. I wanted you to stay.
Well, it's because she gets brought up because he's talking about
family,
all the people that they have to sacrifice in order for this to happen. And Peter's just all like, well, what about my friends? And then he's like, I don't know, he says something along the lines of like, you're gonna have to make sacrifices for this to happen. And he's like my mother.
He says like he loved his mother, but he knew if he stayed there one more time on Earth, he would never go back. So that's why I put the brain tumor in your mother.
And that's when Peter fucking snaps.
He's like, whoa, bitch.
And he snaps out of this delusion, and Ego goes, well, if you're not going to side with me willingly, you're going to spend the next 1,000 years as a battery.
Well, before that, Peter pulls out his fucking guns and starts shooting the shit out of Ego.
He fucking tears through Ego. And this body isn't actually Ego, it's just a physical...
It's a manifest.
It's a physical manifest as him. So he basically spears him with power, whatever this bullshit light is, and starts draining Peter and is like, you're gonna be my battery. So he supercharges himself with his own light. I feel it's really convoluted.
Yeah.
But basically this makes the plants grow on all these other planets. The one that he planted behind the Dairy Queen on Earth, plus God knows how many others, start growing, and just like this fucking blue ooze gunk shit starts growing out of them. And basically Ego is eating planets to increase his power. So this ooze shit starts growing everywhere and starts killing people. And that is when Yondu, Rocket, Groot show up,
And that other
and
guy.
Gamora, Nebula show up at the same fucking time with Drax. I don't fucking know what Drax is doing, but he shows up at the same time too.
No, because Mantis wakes him up,
Mhm.
and he thinks she's gonna sleep with him. He's like, ugh.
Well, Gamora runs into Drax and
Yeah.
Mantis talking,
Yeah.
and then Mantis grabs. I mean, no.
Gamora
grabs Mantis by the
by the
throat
neck,
or
yeah.
whatever. Just like, why the fuck didn't you tell us about all this shit? And Drax is kind of just like, yo, chill the fuck out. And she like puts Mantis down, and Drax is like, we've already been informed of this. Like, let's go get Peter.
Yeah,
And
so
then
that's
Mantis,
why they went
another
there.
big point is that before, in the very beginning of like Mantis was touching people, Gamora's like, no. And then Mantis is, when Gamora was touching Mantis, he was like, you're afraid. And Mantis was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
So, this is when everybody shows up. They fucking obliterate Ego's physical manifestation,
Mhm.
which
Because they crash a ship on him.
Yeah.
they crash a fucking ship on him, which for some reason he's a giant fucking brain in the middle of a planet, so this is why it confuses me. He loses control and basically consciousness, so all the little plants on these different planets stop working. Peter is no longer attached to the fucking power source thing, and they all start running away. And that's when Ego starts coming back and starts just like breaking shit.
Everything.
Yeah. So
And
the
then-
whole planet starts like fissuring and like shit just starts to go down.
And then the batteries come in play.
Ooh, we missed a part right before the scene where Yondu and Rocket are talking.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where Yondu is pulling out all the stops of like, I did love Peter. I wanted to be a parent to him. I couldn't bring more people to die by Ego's hands. And Rocket gets all pissed off and is like, why do you even care about people? And Yondu's because like, I know you. And goes into this spiel of like, you push people away, I push people away. You don't have anybody who loves you, but you love people kind of thing. And he's like, I am you. And Rocket has this realization of like, fuck. But Yondu then says something like, I may have fucked up a lot, but you still have a chance to do things right.
Mhm.
So now they're all fucking fighting, and they've all crashed down into the fucking planet, which
Yeah.
apparently is Hollow-esque.
Well, they take the mining ship
Yeah.
out of the big ship that Yondu
Yeah.
escaped from his ship. And then there's like, okay, we're gonna use this laser drill thing and go through the core where the brain is at.
Yeah, they bore down and get ready to destroy him. So Rocket's like, I still have these batteries. They must be worth something. So he rigs up this fucking atomic bomb with a couple little tiny batteries, apparently.
The batteries are the big boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then they bore down, and the fucking golden people show up about now once they're inside and getting ready to try and blow up the brain of Ego. And this brings out this giant fucking firefight of where everybody gets tossed out of their ship.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's trying to run around and fucking fight off the golden people and fight off Ego trying to re-physically manifest himself.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where Mantis is like, no, this is where Drax is like, you used to put him to sleep, right? Mantis is like, I don't have the power to put to sleep the entire planet when he's enraged. And Drax is like, I believe in you. So Mantis tries, and once she does it, Drax is like, I didn't think she could do it.
Yeah.
So she kind of gives him a little glare, but she keeps Ego asleep for a good amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Because she's remaining in contact.
She
with it,
remains
yeah.
in physical contact with
A
one
vein
of the
of
like
something,
veins or
yeah.
whatever. Because the whole planet's Ego, but not the planet's Ego. It's really,
It's weird.
it's odd. But then we get into Rocket, Peter, and Groot are like inside the protective shell of the brain.
Well,
Uh-huh.
Rocket and Groot are. Peter standing
Yeah.
outside.
Peter's standing like right
He's just
outside.
shooting the
Yeah.
ships.
So, like, the only person who's small enough to get through the little tiny holes into the center so that the bomb actually guaranteed blows up Ego is Groot.
Baby Groot.
But Groot is stupid right
Groot
now.
is
So-
dumb as shit.
He's a baby.
So, this the bomb has 2 switches, one that initiates, one that sets the timer, and then it's got 2 buttons. One that starts the countdown, and another one that instant blows up. Groot sits there and is trying to be explained by Rocket how to fucking work it, and Groot's only thought is, push the button I'm not supposed to fucking push.
Boom.
And eventually, Groot just takes it and starts running off
Yeah,
with it.
Yup.
Rocket gets distracted
down.
because Rocket's like, I'm just gonna put a piece of tape over this button. Groot doesn't
Looking
need
for
this.
tape.
He's fucking yelling at people looking for tape. Peter's yelling at people looking for tape. And this ensues, that was a weird word to use right there. But this brings up
Yep.
the scene that most people saw from the fucking previews of Peter yelling at Rocket, if anybody's gonna have fucking tape, it's you. You've got a backpack with a fucking atomic bomb in it.
Is it Groot's?
You're the only one who'd have tape.
And Rocket's like, it's always me. I always have to do it.
Yeah, Rocket gets all kind of butthurt and is like, I'm always the one doing this bullshit with, like, I'm always repairing shit. I'm always the one with the machines. I'm always the one with the guns. You guys basically just go out and fight, and I ensure that things happen. So he gets butthurt a little bit. Peter flies away to go destroy shit because he doesn't want to deal with Rocket. And Groot fucking runs away with the bomb.
Oh no.
So Rocket is like, well, fuck, Groot's gone. We've got anywhere between 6 minutes and now
No.
before we fucking die. So this is the next 30 minutes of the movie, which is
Yep.
6 minutes, obviously. Movie time. So now everybody's fighting, and this is the part where Jay and I literally fucking burst out laughing.
Oh yeah.
You have this scene of like, it looks like a fucking poster. Like Drax is standing all cool, Nebula's there, Gamora's there, and Mantis is like on the ground holding fucking Ego, and like Peter's flying in the background.
This is after they've destroyed all the sovereign ships.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they've destroyed all the sovereign ships, so like shit's just crumbling around now. And you're sitting there and you're like, this is cool, this looks
Yeah.
like it's gonna be awesome. And then fucking rock falls on Mantis, and you're like,
Bam.
the fuck? And Ego just in rage awakens, and we're all like,
Oh,
fuck
no.
everything.
Yup.
Basically a physical manifestation again. At this point, they've lost their ship. So they basically...
Yep, the drilling ship.
They lost the drilling ship, so they basically don't have a ride out of there besides like their jetpacks and shit.
And
they-
the big ship that's...
the
up
big
in
ship
orbit.
is sitting on
Well,
the
no,
surface.
yeah, well,
well,
it went on the surface because it was out in orbit, and it's all the big ships, and it just went down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So now, this is where Peter starts actually fighting Ego with the power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is where everybody else is trying to fucking run away.
But
Uh-huh.
the planet's starting to like
Grab them.
implode and
Yeah,
stuff around them. It's starting to fall apart because Ego is just mad as hell and just tearing shit up.
Yeah. So this is where Rocket goes, we've got anywhere between now and 6 minutes to get the fuck out of here.
Yup.
So that shit is like, it's kind of going on, and it's not really implied. Like, we don't really see a bunch of it. And this is more of the fight between Ego and Peter.
Yup.
The first, like, confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
And you see them fighting, they're like throwing rocks and like
Well,
punching each other
okay.
and shit.
What happens before they start fighting is basically Peter wants Drax to get Mantis out of there
Yup.
and to have somebody at the ship ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yup.
So he gives Drax his jetpack. Drax takes off, gets to the ship. So
His nipples hurt.
Yeah, my nipples!
Yeah, Drax has this weird thing about not wearing jetpacks because they rub against his sensitive nipples. Drax is weird.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that happens. This becomes important because this leaves a reason
A
for
major plot
Yondu to
point.
stay behind.
Yup.
Yeah.
Because somebody needs to be there to get Peter out of there.
Mhm.
So, Rocket was volunteering to do it, but Yondu is like, I've done so much wrong that you just need to let me have this.
This is
And-
my one moment to shine,
Yeah.
become good.
And
Yeah.
Rocket's
Big
just
deal.
all like, here's a space survival suit, and here's a jetpack. I have one of each.
Yep.
Take them.
Mhm.
So Yondu stays behind, everybody else gets on the ship. Peter's fighting off
Oh.
Ego to keep him distracted from the bomb.
During this fight, this is where Nebula and Gamora have like fallen off onto another cliff. Because Nebula fucking tackles Gamora because she's like, I just want to beat you! And then you realize that Nebula really just wanted a sister. And Nebula saw it as Gamora always wanting to win, and Gamora always had to win. And Gamora never felt the torture she felt. and Nebula just wanted a sister.
Yep.
So this is like the happy-go-lucky. Not really.
No.
But like this is where
Happy-go-lucky.
It was not happy-go-lucky whatsoever.
this is the feels for Gamora and Nebula where you're like, oh, they could have been good family like sisters, but fucking
Thanos is a
douchebag and fucking pitted them against each other. So they're fucking trying to get out of there. Neither of them have jetpacks, but don't worry, there's fucking pillars of stone going straight to the roof. So they fucking hop on one of those and take an elevator to the top, basically. And then you're watching Ego and Peter duke it out while Rocket, Yondu, and Groot magically appears out of the fucking core back with Rocket again. That was never explained. How
No, that
Groot
was
found
later.
him. No, this is where Peter and Ego are fighting, and
Okay.
Rocket is leaving with Groot now.
Yeah, leaving Yondu behind.
Oh yeah, because he slipped through and he pushed a button.
Yeah, and then we don't see Groot again, and then Groot appears with Rocket. Which we assume Groot kind of knows where Rocket is at all times. They've been together for fucking ever. But this is probably one of Brian's favorite scenes, where they start fucking collecting rocks around each other to get ready for this big-ass battle. And you see Ego has like a giant ego made out of rocks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then you go to Peter, and it's fucking Pac-Man. And
Yeah.
then they collide.
It's so good.
It just blows
He
shit
has the
up.
Pac-Man sound effect
It
and
does,
everything.
too.
And
It's
his
going-
mouth is moving. It's like wah, 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 wah. And I was like, yes.
So they fucking collide. They land down, and Ego's like, I just wanted somebody to be with. I wanted to be with everybody. And Peter's like, I don't fucking believe you. You're just a giant douchebag.
Mhm.
And this is where
Well, this is when the bomb's about to go off. And Peter's like holding him back from the bomb, and Ego's just like, if you let this happen and I die, you'll be just like them.
Wait.
And Peter's like, what's so wrong with that?
Rewind a bit, but the rocks are like so like they're finding like the rocks are like swallowing up all the other people, you know, the rest of Guardians of the Galaxy and Yondu, like, and Yondu was talking about like his arrow. He wasn't controlled by his muscle. He was controlled. He was hit by heart, and he got swallowed up.
yeah.
Like, that's a major thing. I think.
That's how Peter begins to like fully control the light, because
Yeah.
at the beginning he's like has to think about it, and Yondu explains to him, I don't run my arrow by thinking, I do it with my heart.
Mhm.
Peter goes, alright, I know exactly what that means, and now he can fucking use his powers to the fullest extent, because now he's fighting for his family now.
Mhm.
Jesus, we've been talking about this for 40 minutes.
Jesus.
Go on.
The movie's basically done now, but now we go to the part where Peter's holding Ego back, and Rocket and Groot are on the ship.
Everybody else is on the ship besides Yondu and Peter.
Yondu and Peter are the only ones left, and the bomb goes off, and Ego just begins to. The physical
Fall apart.
manifestation fades,
He turns
and
to
the
dust.
whole
He does.
planet
Oh, that was
starts to
cool.
just crumble.
And I thought this was a good Rocket moment where everybody's asking where Peter's at because he's still down there, and Gamora's basically like, I'm not leaving without Peter, and she gets ready to like jump off the ship and
Same
like
with-
go after
yeah.
him, and Rocket.
Yep.
Rocket shoots her with this like electric gun and like stuns her, and he just goes like, I'm only losing one friend today.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Rocket fucking closes the door, and Drax is out there flying the ship, and over the intercom is yelling, "Where's Peter? We must have Peter!" But the ship is flying away, and so Yondu now gets over to Peter, and they start flying up on the jetpack, as the spaceship is already in outer space.
Yondu puts the space suit on Peter. It puts a little thing in space
On
suit.
Peter.
on
Well,
Peter.
they're flying up. Before that happens, Yondu has him, and he's talking to Peter a little bit before he has this
Yeah.
moment before he dies,
Yeah.
where he tells Peter, that guy may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is where you really realize that Yondu.
And then Peter has all these flashbacks of things that
Yeah.
Yondu like taught him and stuff.
Yeah, like you
Like
realize
his first
that
moment,
Yondu
like
is
shooting
his
a gun
dad.
and things like that.
You realize Yondu raised him, and he might have sucked at it, but he was definitely his father.
Yes.
So now they're flying up into outer space, and they're getting out there. They're starting to get cold. Yandu's got the jetpack on. Peter's got the spacesuit on. And Yandu's like, you must let me have this. This is my one chance to prove to you that I was at least kind of a good dad. And this is
Now
where Yandu...
comes the most
It is
heartbreaking
really
moment
heartbreaking.
in the movie.
They are...
Major props to Chris Pratt in this scene.
Oh,
because
yeah.
he absolutely made
did.
it all
Well, like
the feels.
Like
Oh,
Peter,
yeah.
well, okay, Star Wars,
if you want a lesson on how to make a scene emotional,
Fucking watch
watch
scene.
that
Yeah.
one.
And so like Star-Lord's freaking out. It's like, you don't have a suit. What are you doing? Don't do this. No. And like, Yondu's like, takes Peter's face in his hands and dies. It's like,
Yeah, she's
Jesus.
holding him, and
I
he, like, freezes.
am man enough to admit I cried at
No,
this
no,
scene.
no, yeah,
I definitely
It was
teared
yeah,
up.
I
as fuck.
teared.
Oh yeah, this was
Really
the most
sad.
emotional part of this movie.
Go fuck yourself, kid.
You didn't fucking
You
watch the movie,
understand.
you prick.
No.
Like, I feel sad right now thinking it's just
Oh yeah,
really...
so much emotion
It
and so
is.
much just like realization of
Mhm.
Yandu might have sucked, but Yandu always cared for and always raised Peter. He
Like-
might have used him a little bit, but he raised and cared for him and
In-
provided.
In
Yep.
movies, a lot of the times the whole yelling thing and go like, no, it sounds so cheesy and stupid, but in this one, Chris Pratt did such a good job of it, and it is just, it kills you emotionally.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, dead.
Yeah. So then it skips to the scene where they're giving Yandu a pseudo Ravager funeral,
Mhm.
where they're covering up like his eyes, his mouth, his nose, his forehead with like little pieces of cloth, because that's how the Ravager funeral is.
And they're putting like little totems and items of...
they give little totems, little trinkets,
Items of remembrance.
Yep.
Yeah.
things.
things of importance to them and importance to him with him, and then they put him into basically an incinerator
Uh-huh.
that's got fucking rainbow magic
Yeah, rainbow
flames.
It was pretty psychedelic.
He burns away into space dust, and they're never said, but it's kind of like an ashes to ashes
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And then as his dust is floating out, you start to see all these Ravager ships showing up,
Mhm.
and you just start to feel even more emotion because all these Ravager captains are like, we
Uh-huh.
feel for you.
Well, everybody's like, where'd these guys come from? And
Yeah.
Rocket's just like, I sent a message out to them
And
of
told
what
them
Yondu,
what Yondu did.
Yeah.
And while this is happening, the song "Fight of the Sun" by Cat Stevens is playing. It's a really emotional song.
It's so
And
much emotion
it is.
right now. And this is where all of Yondu's Ravager friends, acquaintances, everybody, like
the original it's the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought.
That's,
Yeah,
they're
they're-
the original. Like
they're the
not
original.
they're not the Guardians of the Galaxy in
No.
the cinematic universe, but
No.
all the characters that show up at the end were the original Guardians of the
Okay, I
Galaxy.
thought
in the
that
comic
was.
books.
Okay.
yeah. So they're all doing the Ravager, like, pound their heart. We
Yeah.
believe in you. Thank you for everything you did. You were a true friend, Yondu.
Yeah.
And they start shooting off fireworks into space and giving him a Ravager funeral.
Yeah, so-
And it just pans to just about everybody in the Guardians
Yeah.
ship just like tearing up and just getting so emotional.
Oh,
And
uh,
this is where
I think we should rewind just a tad bit. Like just when no, back to when Peter and Ego were fighting when they're talking about his mom. Ego destroys the Walkman.
yeah,
That
Ego
was, like,
destroys his Walkman.
His Walkman.
And that's where
He tells,
kind of Ego goes, or not Ego, Peter goes into super rage
Yeah.
mode. But this leads
Fast
into
forward,
this.
yeah.
This leads into the scene of where the guy who helped free Yondu and Rocket walks up to Peter and says, "You were Yondu's son. Yondu found this for you." And gives him an MP3 player and is
A
like,
Zune.
if you ever came back, Yondu was going to give this to you. It holds 300 songs or whatever, and it's filled. And you just see Peter just like, 300 songs? This is amazing.
Uh-huh.
And he like cradles it to him. And then after a second, he pulls out Yondu's fin and the arrow that got broken. And they've like refused it together.
Rocket fixed it,
And
yeah.
he hands it to him and says, "Yondu would want you to have this." you're the next Ravager captain, basically. Be amazing. And they just like have this heartfelt moment as well. And that
Basically is
that is the ending scene
Post-credit scenes.
of the movie.
Yeah.
Now we get to the post-credit scenes.
I don't remember them in order, but one of them is the guy he gave the arrow.
Are you gonna look up the order?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
The first one is the guy he gave the arrow to.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first one is the guy he gave the arrow to.
And he accidentally shoots it into Drax.
So he's sitting there whistling and trying to practice how to fucking use the arrow.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, basically it like sits in the air and like wobbles and fucking flies like really bad.
And then adolescent teen Groot.
Then,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And so then it fucking, he like tries to whistle and he like whistles really loud and it like zooms around the corner and you see Drax sitting at a table and fucking stabs him like right in the chest. And
He just goes like,
you just,
"Oh! Oh!"
the guy just turns around and just walks away. He's like, I didn't do it.
Then it goes to Sylvester Stallone, who we find out is Starhawk, inspired by Yondu's sacrifice, who reunites with his ex-teammates, which were the original Guardians of the
Yep.
Galaxy.
And then the one after that, I think, is
Teen Groot.
Teen Groot.
Which is
and
really
after Teen
funny.
Groot,
Is
it's Sovereign creating Adam.
yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Adam.
Which-
right? That's
Black Adam is DC.
It's DC. Okay,
Yeah.
that's DC.
So it
Okay.
doesn't show Adam. Okay, so Teen
Shout out
Groot.
to Adam. That's really deep cuts Marvel Universe.
So Teen Groot is basically Peter walks into his room and is like, you need to come outside. Basically pulling a whole parent, you need to go outside, you need to do shit. I don't get why you sit there in front of this screen and just play video games all the time. It
that was
doesn't make
hilarious.
sense. And he's like, and you're, I am Groot, I am Groot. He's like, I don't care what you say. I don't care if I'm boring. You're boring. I don't understand it. And he's like, your room is a mess and I don't like tripping over vines all the time. And Groot's like, I'm Groot. I'm Groot.
And then like Peter's like, this must have been what Yondu fell.
I feel bad for Yondu. So then we go to the final one of. God, we just said their name.
Watchers listening
Stan.
to their informant discuss several experiences on Earth.
With Stanley, and Stanley's like,
Yep.
they leave, and it says like, you were my ride home, right?
You guys are my ride home.
Yep.
So Stanley gets another cameo, but it also kind of explains that the Watchers are there, and like their reality in this.
And that they're like, oh, Doctor, everything exists in our world.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then the final one is the Golden People. The lady who was like hardcore flirting with Peter
Made Adam.
makes Adam. She's like, this is our
call it Adam.
this is our new creation pod. This is the next generation. The higher ups aren't going to be disappointed that I let the Guardians go when they
Uh-huh.
see that I have created this. And she's like, I shall call it Adam
All right.
Black. And then that's it. That's the end of
Yeah.
the movie. That's the end of the end credit scenes.
So what do you guys rate it?
Holy shit! A 10 out of 10 for this one. in my opinion.
9 out of 10. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Give it a solid 8 out of 10.
I thought it was pretty good.
I would give it a 10 out of 10, but it's slow at times.
It's slow at times, which
It
is
really,
okay.
once they get to Ego's planet, it really slows down to a snail's pace of a movie.
It
for a
slows
while.
down to a snail's pace. Like, we explained Ego's planet as, like, it seemed to go really fast. Ego's planet was like 3/4 of the fucking movie.
Ego's planet is the majority of the movie, and the majority of it is just talking.
But it was good. It
was
gave
good.
backstory. It explained shit. But like, I felt they could have done it a little faster.
I was fine, but
I mean, like, I kind of like the slower pace, but I don't know. This movie felt like it barely had any action in it.
Yeah, it was not the first Guardians of the Galaxy. That one
No.
was.
That's my 10 out of 10.
That was a 10 out of 10. The first Guardians of the Galaxy, fucking amazing. This one was good, but it wasn't as good.
Because Guardians and Ant-Man are my favorite Marvel movies of all time. Like, just fucking hands down. I love them both.
I think- I don't know. My favorite Marvel movies of all time right now is probably gonna go Guardians 1 and Guardians 2.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Guardians 1 and 2. They were fucking phenomenal. I loved them.
They've been my favorite ones out of all of them.
Yeah, Guardians and Ant-Man are mine. Like, I love just this yeah.
They're fucking good. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else to say?
I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
So, 2 hours. This has been the Roshambros podcast. I'm Kien Ibanez.
Max Schooley.
Jail? Yeah.
I'm Ryan Freeman.
All right, bye.
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 Love